Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Happy Tuesday!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Our equipment's working today.
Good. Was it not yesterday?
No.
Oh.
Not at all.
See, I leave for a day and you people just lose it.
Pretty much.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happened. Are we on the radio, Dylan?
I can check.
Well, you can just look right there in your settings where it says audio output. Make sure that's turned on. We're sounding good.
HDMI 2AV.
That would be the one.
All right, we're good.
All right.
Hi, everyone in Radio Land, if you're listening out there.
We appreciate you joining us today. Shout out to Red Thompson if you're listening.
That's right. Sup, Red? Deuces.
So
I was talking with some people the other day at a local eatery that said they had listened on the radio. So thank you all.
Yeah.
To you all out there.
Morning, Marlon.
Stacy's out there. I'm waving at her.
Oh, hi, Stacy.
She's so sweet.
She is.
By the way, if you need anything printed or of that nature, call Stacy. She's awesome at Zip.
Oh, yeah. Stacy's the best.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
Happiest human alive.
Yeah. Even when she's having a breakdown. She's like the Joker. She's laughing and smiling with like a tear.
And a tear. You know when she goes, and the teeth are clenched, that's like not quite the normal laugh.
Speaking of clenched, that's what New York Jets fans were doing last night.
Dude, can you believe? I mean, the hype heading up to Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers' debut with the New York Jets.
Playing his first game with the New York Jets.
Just the biggest
kick in the you-know-what.
biggest NFL story of the offseason.
For sure.
Aaron Rodgers, former MVP, former Super Bowl champion, leaving Green Bay, going to the New York Jets.
And
the team of J.J. Milliken. And then just immediately going down.
And down he went.
Oh.
And not with a, shall we say, easily to recover from injury.
Yeah, so they believe it is a torn left Achilles tendon.
And, for most of us, a torn Achilles is pretty much career ending, whatever, if you're not a professional athlete or whatever. I mean, you just don't bounce back easily from that.
No.
And shall we say Aaron Rodgers isn't 21?
No. He's the oldest player in the league now.
But he also is in very good shape and whatever.
He was the oldest player in the league at 7:00 yesterday.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know.
You may be the youngest recent retiree.
I mean, my God, could you at least let him get, 5 plays under his belt before we knock him out of the game? Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Yeah. And good news for Jets fans. They
somehow came back and won that game.
Won in overtime, so got their revenge.
Yeah, the Bills have been a really good team the last few years. I thought the Jets were going to get skunked with Aaron Rodgers in that game.
Yeah.
I really thought they were going to get trounced when he went out 3 minutes into the game or whatever.
I mean, that is just so not cool, man.
No.
So, I don't know. Are they saying everybody's saying torn Achilles, so I assume that that's true. Yeah. But I think they probably need to do some more diagnostic
so he'll have an
stuff today.
MRI today. Players who are diagnosed with a torn Achilles on the field inevitably have injury confirmed the following day. Rodgers himself seemed to realize that he had suffered the tear on the field as he glumly shook his head toward the sidelines and sat down before being helped to the locker room.
Yeah. You kind of know, I'd say.
Yeah.
Dude, the pain, I can't even imagine that, like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. That's
what that would feel like.
Again, like, Jets came back and won that game, so good on them. But just the look on the fans in the stands' faces when that happened.
It was
just like, shoot me now.
Yeah. Like someone just ran over my dog situation.
Oh, I know. It was just like they were
not good at all.
I don't think we can fully like.
So disappointed.
Like, people were so excited about that. And it just ended instantly. Ugh.
I hate it for you never want to see. I don't care, who you are. You
whatever.
never want to
like,
see someone injured.
Aaron Rodgers is maybe kind of a jerk, but like you don't. Yeah.
Never, ever in a million years do you want somebody to be injured. You want them to be able to play and work it out and whatnot. But that it's just unbelievable that something like that happens.
There is breaking news related to this, though.
Okay,
it just was announced now that Tom Brady has signed a 1-year contract with the New
York Jets. I'm gonna kill you. Great.
Somewhat related news, the Bengals definitely got their $250 million worth of Joe Burrow this past weekend.
Oh God! So
the good news is that Mark Harmon owes you lunch now,
dude. So yeah, I sent him a message. So Jamie and I were in Columbus. We were tooling around watching the game here and there, and it was like one of those where I was, we were excited. We were going to sit, somewhere and watch this game. Mm-hmm. And, the snooze fest started and the snooze fest continued. And it just never, it's like the game just never took off.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, that's kind of what happens sometimes when games with real bad weather like that.
Yeah. And
you just can't hold on to the ball. And if you're a
horde there.
Yeah. And if you're a team whose offense completely revolves around passing the ball, it's real difficult when the conditions are like that.
I was talking yesterday to somebody that was at the game, and they were like, there was really not rain in the forecast, so it was just kind of shocking to everybody, and I don't think anyone was prepared for it.
Yeah.
And,
they wear different cleats and stuff like that.
It just literally poured the entire game. So I did send Carmen, the bad winner post, and I said I was thinking about like Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse for lunch or whatever, and he just wrote back Rax.
Good luck finding a Rax.
I was like, okay. I think there's still one in Circleville.
Is there? Yeah, there's one in Ashland, but I think it's gone now too.
Yeah.
Got a fly in here.
There's a fly, and it's fixing to meet its demise here in a minute if I have anything to do with it.
We're about to start chasing this fly around.
But no, but it's not surprising with me and the Browns and the Bengals because you just never know when those teams get together.
Well,
it's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, the Browns have beat the Bengals several times. They've last 3 or 4 games the Browns have won.
Yeah, I don't know why.
This game was, of course, in Cleveland.
Yep.
And it was bad weather, and the Browns are a running team, and the Bengals are a throwing team. So it was definitely in the Browns' favor.
Yep.
And the Bengals started off last season slow too, and obviously made it to the AFC Championship game.
Right.
After the game, I don't know if you saw this. They interviewed the Bengals coach, and they're like, "Did you see anything positive on offense in that game?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you always see the positives or whatever." And then when Burrow was doing his post game interview, the reporter was like, "Coach said that he saw some positives on offense," and Burrow was like, "Did he tell you what they were?" He's like, "I didn't see him."
Here's my check back.
Yeah.
No, all the memes of him writing his check back or whatever. I'm like, listen,
crying into $100 bills.
No, it's just we'll see. We'll see how the season goes. I think that was just a kind of a perfect storm of just everything going wrong.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I mean, I get lunch out of it, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, Racks.
Racks.
See if I can find where the nearest Racks is.
I'm like, I'm thinking big here, and he says Racks. Might go upscale and get some Arby's.
Yeah.
My dad. Go to the Taco Bell and get some meth.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't gotten to participate in this conversation yet.
Man, there are
Racks.
only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 racks left in the country, and they're all kind of almost all in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there is one in Chillicothe. There's one in Ironton.
Chillicothe?
That's what it said.
Circleville.
It said Chillicothe. Hold on. You have to click on the little dots on the map.
Oh.
Chillicothe coming soon.
What? Someone's building a Racks?
Apparently.
Are you kidding? I'll bet that's been on there since 1985.
Maybe.
What do you want to bet?
This website is a little old. One in Lancaster, one in Circleville, one in Georgetown, and they made this as one in West Union. They made this map as difficult to. And then looks like there's one in Indiana and one in Kentucky.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yes, Dylan.
What's Racks?
I know.
Well, I never have heard of a Racks before, but I looked it up and apparently they're alligator themed. Is that
You were
true?
looking at the wrong thing, bud.
I
No,
know.
it
I
says
think they
they
do
were-
have like an alligator mascot thing
Yeah,
for like
it
the
says
kids.
Racks and Arby's are basically the same, but one's cowboy themed and one's alligator themed.
I do not remember Racks having an alligator. Their
Look
website
up the
is
kids.
green.
Is there a kids part to the website?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't ever remember Racks having an alligator, but that doesn't mean that it didn't. Dude,
They are basically the same.
yeah, Racks and Arby's are basically exactly the same restaurant. Good deal. My dad still goes to Arby's and orders Racks.
I could see that.
Yeah. Because Racks used to have this thing where you get like 4 roast beef sandwiches for $4 or whatever.
Okay.
So dad would go to Racks and get 4 roast beef sandwiches, and that would be our pack our lunch for the week.
Yeah.
You just heat that thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Dylan, a little trivia for you. Racks in Jackson used to be where Toro Loco is now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It was built for Racks.
Yeah.
And they all had those sunrooms and
Mhm.
stuff, if you remember.
Yeah. Man.
Back in the day.
I was going to say, it's been long
It's
enough that
been
I
a
really
long
barely
time.
remember. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how long ago that the Racks closed here, but probably when Arby's opened, I'd guess.
Yeah. Around the same time.
But anyway.
So speaking of, a long time, being a long time since something,
Mhm.
it's going to take a long time for Kim Jong Un to get from Pyongyang to Moscow on his enormous bulletproof train
There it is.
that reaches speeds of 28 miles per hour. Yeah. So
It's bulletproof.
It is
though.
bulletproof, and it
It is
is
bulletproof.
enormous. So on Monday, a dark
There he
green.
is.
Yeah, there he is.
Penguin Man shuffling out of the
Yeah.
bulletproof train.
Yeah, he's a weird looking guy. So on Monday, a dark green train with yellow trim was
He waddles.
he does was spotted at the border where Russia, China, and North Korea meet. Its distinctive coloring identified it as one of a kind vehicle that runs with one passenger in mind: North Korean leader Kim Jong Un. Kim rarely leaves North Korea, and when he does, he rarely flies, preferring to take an armored train just like his father and his grandfather did before him. This time, Kim is believed to be on his way to Russia for a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
They said he's very, very stoked about this because he's getting the red carpet treatment, and he's actually being recognized as a leader.
Yeah.
Because, he basically spends his entire life trying to, to be relevant.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why they fire off missiles and stuff, just so people will talk about them.
Yeah. It says this is the first time he's left North Korea in 4 years.
Nice.
So this week he is posed to arrive at this summit. The train was a hold on. So I lost it here. So the train was a gift to his grandfather. From I lost it.
I'm wondering what you need with that big of a train for one person.
Well, so it says that the train used to be 90 cars and now it's down to like 20. It's got like
they broke off over the years.
So it's okay. So the train was a gift to his grandfather from Joseph Stalin.
Oh God, great.
So Kim Jong Il, his father, also used the train. He was famously afraid of flying and preferred to travel by train. In 2010, his former bodyguard told a South Korean media that the North Korean leader was afraid of being shot down by his enemies if he traveled by plane.
You think?
Yeah. Well, shortly after that interview, he died of a heart attack on a train.
No. That's not funny.
It is
That
funny.
is the irony of that is a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Little Penguin Man took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's traveled 4,500 kilometers through China in the armored train to reach Vietnam this was earlier. He went to, so this was an earlier trip. He went to Vietnam to meet with Trump for 2.5 days. I guess this was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You up for a bulletproof train ride at 20 miles per hour?
With Kim Jong Un?
With Kim Jong Un
Not a chance.
into Moscow?
No.
I bet that is a party wagon.
Dude. Well, it probably is. I'd say he knows how to party.
You think so?
Yeah, considering everybody else in the country weighs all of 73 pounds, and he
he's
weighs
he's like
4
3
times that.
bigger than everybody else in the country. So put that picture of him getting off the train back up, Dylan. So Dylan
he waddles.
Yeah, so Dylan
down.
put this picture up and he's like, I bet he's gonna fall down those stairs. And so Dylan's like, it'd be real funny if he fell down those stairs like Joe Biden did. and I was like, Dylan, if
Which time?
yeah, well, I was like, Dylan, if somebody took a video of him falling downstairs in North Korea,
Dude.
that person, yeah.
They'd be fed to the hogs
Yeah.
like his uncle.
Yeah. He'd be dropping those people off in Siberia on their way to
Yeah.
Moscow.
Yeah, they never to be heard or seen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dylan, this guy's so awesome. He fed his uncle to hogs.
That's not very nice.
I mean, it's probably
Hogs
good for the
gotta
hogs.
eat. Yeah, hogs got to eat, Dylan. What you got to get some hogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's this guy.
Yeah. So
He's great.
yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think
what could possibly go wrong with
I know.
him and Putin just tooling around in their enormous, like,
in their armored
90-year-old armored train that goes 20 miles an hour?
And I guess they're supposed to meet at like some missile site.
Yeah, they're supposed to talk about like nuclear whatever.
Great.
Yeah.
That's what we need is
Yeah.
to, encourage this guy to do something more insane.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They're kind of 2 peas in a pod, other than Putin obviously has a bit more power than this dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, North Korea, like they put a lot of people in a really awkward position, like where they're located geographically and whatnot. And
and they just continue to do attention getting things just to try to stay relevant. And evidently the world, for some reason, continues to throw them that bone, and it's just annoying.
I watched this documentary a couple years ago. It was really interesting. There is like an abnormally high percentage of blind people in North Korea.
Okay.
Because they all have this real basic like cataract or whatever, and it's like an easily like a short like operation
like
fixes
a little
it.
laser thing.
Yeah, all that. But they just have nothing there.
Well, and they probably are start out with no diet whatsoever.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So they're just not healthy.
Yeah, but so like this one doctor goes from like Britain to North Korea, like, you know, once a year or whatever, and does these laser eye surgeries, and he'll do like hundreds a day. And these people like will basically instantly go from being blind to being able to see more or less just fine. Yeah.
Wow.
And then they have this done, and like in this movie, they're just immediately start like praising Kim Jong Un. You know, it's creepy. It's weird.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, they have state-run television, and they, you know, everything is state-run, and so they know nothing different than what they're told.
Yeah, and there's not really any way to get out because it's like it borders China and Russia, you know.
And we, you know, if anybody tries to go outside, they feed them to hogs and things. So, you know.
Yeah.
On my like my YouTube short reels, I keep getting these weird videos about North Korea, just like weird like facts about it. And it's always just shocking, the random stuff you hear that's just insane. Like it just makes no sense.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
And you feel, I don't know. It's just it's the antithesis of how we live here. Because we have access to information to make up our own minds. Now, whether, you know, it could be argued that, you read stuff on Facebook
good things
and
with all that information,
but it depends on what you do with the information, yes. But that being said, we have the opportunity to try to find information ourselves.
Yeah, they don't even have the option.
No.
Other big news story happening right now, the United States is taking on Google in the biggest monopoly trial of the 21st century right now.
Why have I not heard about this?
Well, I don't know. That's on you for not
Googling.
it.
So
the United States government is taking on one of the world's most powerful companies, Google. A court battle kicks off this Tuesday in which the U.S. Justice Department will argue that Google abused its power as a monopoly to dominate the search engine business. It's the government's first major monopoly case to try to take it to trial in decades, and the first in the age of the modern internet. The Justice Department case hinges on claims that Google illegally orchestrated its business dealings so that it's the first search engine people see when they turn on their phones and web browsers. The government says Google's goal was to stomp out competition. The lawsuit strikes at the heart of Google's grip over the internet of millions of American consumers, advertisers, small businesses, and entrepreneurs beholden to an unlawful monopolist, said former Attorney General William Barr when the case was first filed in October of 2020. Now, nearly 3 years later, with millions of pages of documents produced and depositions from more than 150 people, the case is going to trial.
So how do you feel about that? Because I mean, I don't have Google pop up on my computer when I turn it on. Like something else pops up. So because I've set it to do that.
Well, you've said it. So it's talking about like the default. So if you open your phone right now and you go to the default browser, which is Safari, and search for something, it's still using Google search, even though it's not using the Google app.
Safari is using Google.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a Google Chrome web browser that is a separate thing, but Safari is still using Google. I mean, you can change it to a different web browser, but by default it is Google.
I would have no idea to do that. But isn't that an agreement with them and Apple? Or
and this is alleging that those agreements must have been unscrupulous.
There's
in some
some
way.
chicanery going on.
There actually is a pretty interesting history between the kind of relationship between Google and Apple. Back in like the early 2000s, the CEO of Google was on the board at Apple. And this was around the time that Apple was developing the iPhone, and the iPhone came out, and it was this huge leaps and bounds ahead of everything else. And just like a couple months later, Google came out with a similar product, and Steve Jobs kind of looked over at that guy across the boardroom and was like, "Hey, now, there's some chicanery happening here." And yeah, so ever since then, Google and Apple have had kind of a fraught relationship.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, generally, Google is sort of the default for lots of things.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how
Yeah.
this goes. I mean, this court thing could go on for
Oh, sure.
ever.
Yeah. I mean, you and me are old enough to remember the Microsoft monopoly battle. What a big, thing that was kind of in the early 90s. I'm sure Dylan has little to no memory of
He's like, I wasn't
any
even
of
born
that.
then.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Microsoft had just such a huge grip on like the computer industry in general, and everything was Microsoft. And that was part of why Apple was able to get as big as it was, because part of that monopoly, some of that went toward Apple. But
Interesting.
so it'll be interesting here how the internet is at stake. The government's case challenges how tech companies are able to amass power and control the products people now use daily in their lives. The outcome of the case could change how giant tech companies are able to do business and, in effect, how the internet is run. Google, which is worth $1.7 trillion, controls around 90% of the U.S. search engine market.
Did you say 90%?
90%.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's put together a massive legal team and brought on outside law firms to help fight the case. The company says its search product is superior to competitors, and that is why it dominates the industry. Google says if people don't want to use its search engine, they can just switch to another. Here's a quote. People don't use Google because they have to. They use it because they want to. Ken Walker, one of Google's top lawyers and its president of global affairs, wrote in an email statement. It's easy to switch your default search engine. We're long past the era of dial-up internet and CD-ROMs, which it is true.
I could agree with everything he said.
It is true, and it is fairly easy to switch that, but I don't know that most people know that they can switch that.
I don't think people care to switch it. Is the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a pretty good argument.
Yeah. So, I mean, Dylan, what browser do you prefer?
I like Google. I've tried other ones like Microsoft Edge
Bing.
and such.
Edge isn't a search engine; it's a web browser.
Oh yeah, I mainly mess with web browsers. Like when it comes to my phone, I just pull up the Google app. I don't care to go to anything else.
Yeah.
I use my homepage is like Yahoo because that's where my email and stuff is.
Sure.
So I just use Yahoo. Plus, I do like Yahoo because they have things categorized. You can go to news and you can go to different things like that.
Yeah. I do believe that Google is far superior as a web browser to the other ones, but part of that is because they have all these other things that give them the edge with the technology and whatnot.
But so could that argument be made, like the attorney said, that we just have a better product? It's not like if you have
I think part of the reason
A, B, and C,
but I think
restaurants or newspapers or whatever, if one's better than the others, people are gonna.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that Google's better. I think it's that Google has an unfair advantage that these other companies can't be better because Google has such a huge market share of it, and no matter how much Microsoft and these other companies that have search engines, no matter what they're doing, people are just being given Google, and they're not trying anything else. And as a business owner, like doing well in Google search results is pretty important to your business, right? And if Google for whatever reason stops showing you in those search results, like
don't take off Mr. Google.
Yeah, like you're in trouble, And it's just we'll just see where this goes. But
it will be interesting to see where it goes. Now, I will say that there have been times where I've gone and tried to switch over from like Google to Yahoo, and it basically asks you like 3 times, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want to leave?"
Yeah. So I have gotten viruses on my computer that will automatically redirect to Yahoo. So the issue that I have had is with the Safari browser on an Apple computer is a common redirect virus, and you will search something in a Google search engine, and it will redirect you to Yahoo.
Oh.
Which I guess is a common thing, and I've had
that a few times.
Yeah, and I've had trouble getting that deleted
Get rid
off.
of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I also have Yahoo emails. I think Yahoo is a pretty poor search engine. I think Yahoo as a company is just kind of stalled. And, I think there's probably a lot of reasons to that, beyond us, why, we go back in time to, 2001 or whatever, Yahoo and Google were probably pretty even footing. And it's a very different story today.
Yeah. And I think, it's the whole thing of whatever you're comfortable with and,
Yeah. So here's a little bit more information talking about how Google has these deals with these manufacturing companies that are making products that's giving them this sort of unfair edge.
Okay.
The case against Google focuses on the company paying billions of dollars each year for exclusive agreements with phone makers like Apple and Samsung, and web browsers like Mozilla, which is Firefox.
Firefox, yeah.
Those agreements let Google be the default search engine on most devices. The Justice Department say that by securing this position, Google has been able to box out smaller rivals. Go.Go is one of those smaller rivals. It has centered its search businesses around privacy and ensuring users aren't tracked, unlike Google, which has long tracked users for targeted advertising. Go.Go's vice president of public affairs says she's glad the case is headed to trial. Google has used its monopoly power to block meaningful competition in the search market by putting a stranglehold on major distribution points for more than a decade. So even though Go.Go provides something extremely, it's a very silly name, but so is Google.
Yeah, true.
Extremely valuable to people that people want, and Google won't provide real privacy, Google makes it undoubtedly difficult to use Go.Go by default. So, I'm sure everybody in this room and everybody that's listening has gotten a little freaked out and frustrated by like the targeted ads and things like that.
Oh, I mean, it's some creepy stuff.
Oh, sure. Like, I mean, we can just be sitting here having a conversation about mattresses,
snowshoes,
and all three of us will see ads for snowshoes and mattresses for the next week.
Like when a snowshoe ad comes up, I'm going to be like, okay.
Yeah. I don't think we'll see snowshoe ads, but we might.
Snowshoes,
maybe snowshoe skiing resort.
Snowshoe skiing resort.
Yeah.
Dylan's going to look.
Dylan's going to search for
snowshoe.
I actually have kind of a funny snowshoe story.
You do?
Yeah, when we were in California a few years ago, we went to I forget the name of the mountain, but one of the big mountains there, and we were going to go snowshoeing, and we took the little train up to the top of the mountain.
Okay.
And it was just all of Asia had decided to take a vacation to that ski resort.
Yeah.
So we ended up taking the train back down. So the top of the mountain is like a ski resort. The bottom of the mountain is the Mojave Desert.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, because that's just the way California is.
Yeah.
And so we went there dressed for snow and ended up going for a hike in the desert.
Okay, that's freaky.
Yeah, but it was like January, so it was still kind of cold. But yeah. It was interesting. Yeah.
Snowshoes.
Yeah, snowshoes. So we may all be using Go.Go in 6 months.
It was DoorDash.
I've been getting a lot of ads trying to get me to drive for DoorDash recently.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, now that our good friend Ben is making it in the big time, they're going to need some drivers around here.
They claim the average DoorDash driver makes $27 an hour.
Uh-huh.
I call shenanigans on that one.
BS.
I call some serious shenanigans on that one.
Well, it probably depends on where you live, too.
Sure.
Like, if you live in Columbus or whatever, then it's one thing. If you're living around here and you have to go get fake nails at the dollar store, not going to do it.
Yeah.
But
interesting
anywho,
stuff. Yeah.
Snowshoes.
So I don't know. What do you guys think? What is your favorite search engine? Do you use Google for everything? Do you use Go.Go? Do you use any? anything else?
Right.
Do you,
What do you use?
You know, what do you use? Do you think privacy, your browsing privacy on the internet is you know?
I mean, I feel like anytime you have one of these or an Alexa device, or you just forgo your privacy, man. And
But is that the way that it should be? It's the way
it's
that
the way
it is.
that it is.
It's the way that it is. Yeah.
And you either accept it or don't accept it.
Yeah.
There's always someone listening, and there's always someone around. So just live your life knowing that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's just how it is.
Yeah. It's just how it is.
If you're not doing something you're not supposed to be, then so be it.
Yeah.
Have you been following this case, speaking of this dude that like escaped from prison in Pennsylvania?
Mm-mm.
I mean, this is some freaky stuff.
I have not heard this story.
So dude, I wish we had the video. It was really genius how he escaped from jail. But he is been convicted. I think he's been convicted of 2 murders, one in somewhere out, some other country, and one here of his ex-girlfriend. But he escaped from this jail in Pennsylvania, and basically he crab walked up 2 walls and went up through the ceiling. It is like you got to give the dude kudos for what he did. But he's been on the lam for like 13 days. Yeah. And now they keep finding him places like getting videos in the woods and here and there and whatever, but they can't catch him. And now he's shaved and changed everything. And now he has a gun. They know he has a gun. And I'm like, something bad is going to happen. People there are terrified because he's already murdered 2 people. And, you know, they're like, and he's just moving.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it looks like somebody caught him on, looked like a home security thing.
Yeah, that was an acquaintance of his. I think he showed up at the house asking for help to help keep running, and they were like, no. And his they were interviewing his former roommate this morning.
So here's this video of him climbing up the wall.
Yeah, it is nuts.
Are you finding this video?
Did you find it, Dylan?
Right.
Okay.
Go ahead and throw that up.
I mean, it is insane.
It's pretty athletic.
The guard got fired that was supposed to be watching him.
But
as you can imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Check that out. I mean, good for you, dude. That's some outside the box thinking.
Serious. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And athleticism. You're right.
Dude needs to be on American Ninja Warrior or
right?
something. Yeah.
And so yeah, he's been on the lam. So 13 days he's eluded capture, and they keep seeing him on surveillance in all these different places, and now he's changed his appearance, they know. Has for sure acquired a gun. Yeah.
I just want to know, like, how far did he have to go up? Like, we see he goes out of the camera.
Fair question.
Yeah,
I don't know.
How far does it go past the camera?
I don't know.
Is he like going like super high in the air, or did he just like right after he got off the camera, he was free?
Because do you know? I mean, even if you're walking up that way, like, how do you get to? You know what I mean? Like,
how do you not get tired? Like, if it's super high up, how do you not just lose your grip? And fall?
Even if you take like one hand off the wall, you'd think, you know, to grab onto something else, there's some strength there.
You don't get a second.
Pretty impressive.
Break, you just got to keep going.
I could not do that.
No.
He looks like he's shuffling like small little steps once he gets past the door there.
Yeah, so I don't know. They said someone else recently escaped doing the exactly the same thing.
Well, you think they would have put a little on that if somebody had already done it?
Yeah, I think that's probably why the guard got, canned.
Well, it's not the guard's responsibility to build a roof on the whatever that thing is.
Well, it's his responsibility to watch him. No, the guard got fired because he had a cell phone in the guard tower, and you're not supposed to be. And they're assuming that he was on his cell phone looking at that instead of watching who he was supposed to watch. But anyway, so dude's on the lam. If you see him,
yeah,
I don't know.
Don't know.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. But I make a prediction: something bad's going to happen because he isn't going to go down.
No. Oh, I don't know. Something, yeah.
And
I don't know.
he has a gun, so it's scary to me what he could do to anybody to try to save himself.
I don't know.
So, anyway,
I don't know.
glad it isn't in
not here.
Ohio.
Switching gears a little bit, I want to talk about like, you know, you're off on like a road trip or something like that. It's like late at night and you're stopping to get, you know, something to eat or whatever. Like, what's your like go-to kind of, you know, like stopping at a gas station, got to grab a quick bite, you know, late at night maybe. What's your go-to?
Oh, so are you talking about a restaurant or
gas
like
station?
a gas station?
Like a you know, somewhere you'd stop like in the middle of the night. Like you're on the highway and you got to stop somewhere, quick bite, get back out on the road.
Okay. I feel like I'm being tricked here.
Well, this is what we call in the business a Segway.
Okay.
And not the kind that you scoot around on.
Okay, yeah.
So
not Paul Blart.
Not Paul Blart. So
I mean, if I go into a gas station to get something to like eat or snack on, it's typically like nuts and like a bottle of water or Gatorade or something.
Yeah.
If I were traveling.
Dylan?
So with me, it's always hit or miss. I always get a gas station burger. It's either really good or absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I actually stopped in Sheetz for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Over the weekend.
Yeah. Were you impressed by the food?
I was. I didn't really get food, but they did sucker me into, see, where they get you. They had these like packets of like candied like pecans and stuff like that right by the register.
Yeah.
And they were warm in the package. They got me.
Yeah. See, some people would just really love the food at Sheetz. And it's like, to me, it's just like, man, that's like high school cafeteria food.
Oh,
you know?
really? Like, I mean, they are unique because they do everything themselves.
Yeah.
So
sure.
That's kind of cool. But no, I didn't eat like anything. They did get me with the nuts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. But so what about sushi? Would you ever
gas
get
station sushi?
Would you ever get sushi from a gas station?
Not a chance in Hades.
So we were talking about last week on Homegrown Happy Hour, the group last week, Joe's Truck Stop. They you know, they were a interesting bunch of fellas. And so one of their songs is called Gas Station Sushi.
Heard.
And this tells we're gonna let Joe tell the story.
Tell the story.
So this is the story of the Gas Station Sushi, and spoiler alert, Gas Station Sushi will soon be made into a major motion picture, which will be, quote, shown on the biggest of movie screens.
Okay, IMAX, I hear.
Yeah, IMAX.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, we've got, this is broken up into 2 clips because this is a really long story. So, Dylan, we're going to play the longer one first and then the shorter one after that.
All right.
All right. Cool. Man, Ben, I thought you were going to, like, ask us questions and stuff. I don't even know where he went. He's not even watching the show. Jeez, Ben. God. I thought he was my friend. All right. Oh, shit. I got this bourbon over here. Dang it. Oh, thanks, Porterhouse. That's this fella's name here. All right. If you're watching at home, you've got to see him for a moment. That's the voice of the show. Everyone, a round of applause for Porterhouse. He is the voice of the show. Did you hear that? Man. We need him like on the front end of our album, just introducing the record. That would be so cool. Oh wait, where'd he go? Where'd he go? That's for me, bro. Oh yeah, jeez. Man, hey, I'm not even gonna introduce you tonight. I just want to let you know, if you're at home right now and you're like, what is going on over there? We're having a really good time. And you ought to come down and hang out at Rowdy's and get into some good times yourself. You guys want to do okay. Hey, cheers everybody. It's good to be back here at Rowdy's. Good to be back in Jackson. Hey, thank you to Nate and to Holly. A round of applause to the folks that make things happen here. Big part of the community out here in Jackson, doing cool things all the time, bringing you the tastiest of meats. Jeez, you guys are weird. Anyhow, there's a lot of stuff going on here at the show. Come on down and find out for yourself. We're going to play for another hour or so after the radio show, so come on down and get involved here in the community. Be a part of what we're doing down here, which is just having a good time. What are we doing? Oh, yeah, okay. Perfect. This next song here. It's one I wrote a few years ago. I was on the road with my other band, the Tillers, and also a Cincinnati band, a string band from Cincinnati. And we were in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, and it was after a show we just played, and I was starving. And I was like, man, this next gas station, we got to pull off, and I got to get myself some food. I pull over at this gas station. It's pretty late at night, middle of nowhere, Illinois, and I'm walking through the aisles. I'm doing a little, as I call it, muffin gazing. Checking out the baked goods. I'm checking out the salty snacks. I'm checking out, what's in the coolers, what kind of ice creams they got. I know what I'm there for. I'm there for a Choco Taco, rest in peace. But I am going to find out what else they got. Because you never know. You get into certain places, they have special Doritos flavors you can't find in other places. You ever been to Canada? Yeah. Zesty Mordant. Someone booed Zesty Mordant Doritos. It's either that or Canada. Canada, if you're listening, don't listen. Okay, here we go. So I'm in this gas station. I'm walking past the cooler, and I see something I'd never seen before in a cooler in a gas station, which was pre-rolled and pre-packaged sushi. And it tripped me out. And I was like, man, they sell sushi at gas stations now. And then I'm thinking, like, what kind of person gets sushi at a gas station? Then I'm thinking, man, what kind of state of mind would I have to be in to get sushi at a gas station? And then I'm thinking, man, I can't judge somebody else for doing something, I don't know. I'm just kind of going through this weird existential cycle in my head, and I'm just thinking, man, I can't judge somebody else for doing something like that. And I feel like my voice is getting treblier or something. It's a little distracting. Like, what's going on with my voice? I sound like a robot. The honk? That's just natural. Anyhow, let's get back to the story. What kind of person gets sushi at a gas station? What kind of state of mind would I have to be to get sushi at a gas station? Then I'm thinking, man, I can't judge somebody else. I've done plenty of stuff I'm not. And so I'm having this weird existential cycle, and I'm thinking about my own temptation and addiction issues. I'm thinking about how I judge other people. And my band came and got me out of there. And we hit the road, and there's this weird thing that happens with your brain when you're a songwriter. And I don't know if this is some sort of neurodivergence or mental disability of some sort, but for whatever reason, you can't really process information the way most people can. Now, we'd like to write about things similar to journaling, like a lot of folks do when you need to process something that doesn't quite make sense to you in real life. And so what songwriters do is we journal, but for some reason we put it on ourselves that we have to be journaling in rhyme and in measured, metered phrases. It's a really difficult way to process real-life trauma, but for some reason as songwriters, it's just what we do. And so leaving that gas station, I couldn't help but write this song. And it's called Gas Station Sushi. And it goes like this. And later, Ben, when you actually finally do ask me questions, ask me about this song, because we have a movie coming out. That's Gas Station Sushi, the movie. I'll trademark. I'll tell you later. Some people think this is the funniest song I've written. Some people think this is the saddest song. I'll leave that up to you. I've been out east and I've been out west. Living on the road puts your will to the test. Should I stay or should I say no? Well, sometimes it's yes when I know I should go. They say too much of anything won't do you no good. So while I take a drag, won't you knock on some wood? Well, I would hope to say no as often as yes, and know how to leave when I ain't at my best. And for all that I've done and all that you see, you know I've done a good job of avoiding gas station sushi. I'm a trying soul and I'll try what I can. Hell, I'll draw myself lines and then I'll draw them again. There's some things in life that I never will do, but I've crossed a few off now, and I don't blame you. 'Cause I've messed up before, and I'll mess up again, and I'm trying my best. Never meant to hurt anybody else, and I've wasted time, and I've wasted love. And it's so damn hard to fix broken trust, and it's so damn hard to fix broken trust. And for all that I've done and all that I want, and despite all the times that I've ended up hurt, I gotta believe in myself to be here for me. You know I've done a good job of avoiding gas station sushi. Hey, thank you. That's Gas Station Sushi. About it. I'm just going to tell you about it. We shot. It's all good.
Joe,
I thought.
can you tell me?
You told me you were going to interrupt the show a bunch of times and then ask questions, and talk about the sponsors, and I feel like
more than
we've done it
zero
one time.
times is a lot of times to people that aren't used to being interrupted, you know. But Joe, can you tell me about? I heard something about a movie based on that song or something. What can you tell me?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it. A couple months ago, we shot the Gas Station Sushi movie. And we shot most of it down in Irvine, Kentucky. Shot it down at my buddy's property. A good chunk of it. And also over on Barnes Mountain at a gas station called Roxy's, we shot, the discovery of Gas Station Sushi. And it's a real cool little narrative. It kind of reflects the real life story of discovering it, and then the song, and then it has its own whole thing to it. My good buddies Tebbs and Daniel are in the movie. Shot by some real good friends of mine, and we're going to do a little work tomorrow. We got some drone work to do tomorrow. I don't want to get too deep into it, but so you know, this is This is big time drone work. Now you can buy drones at like TJ Maxx now, but whatever, that all aside, there is a movie coming out and it's shot only on cameras bought from TJ Maxx, so it's gonna be dope.
What theaters are we expecting this to be in?
The biggest ones.
Yeah, like IMAX and stuff? All right, you heard it here first, folks. Gas Station Sushi, the movie. Let's hear it for them. Yeah.
That's right, on the biggest screen. They're going to play us at the Dallas Cowboys games on that giant TV they got.
Well, if you can't get to the Dallas Cowboy games and you need a big old TV, I know a place just across town called Rent to Own.
Oh, yeah!
They have some nice TVs over there. I know a lot of people that'll go there and take $20, get a TV for the Super Bowl, and take it back on Monday. It's something you're allowed to do. They don't care. No judgments there. www.r2o.com. What do you have next for us, Joe?
I think they don't care. No judgments there is a great slogan for Rent to Own.
I'll see if I can sell it to them.
They don't care. No judgments, there.
there.
Well, thank you for that 15-minute long tangent about Gas Station Sushi. Big shout out to everybody that made it all the way through that.
That is hilarious.
We were dying laughing the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
We hope you guys found that as amusing as me and Jen did.
Yeah.
But hidden in the middle of all that was a pretty good song.
Yeah. About Gas Station Sushi.
Yeah. And the existential quandaries that, come with it. Yeah.
I mean, it's like the things that make you go,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gas Station Sushi. I've also
I'll do
seen
grocery store sushi. I don't know
I've
about
done
gas
grocery
station.
store sushi.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The one that really gets to me is the sushi vending machines in the airport.
Mm.
And I'm just
Yeah, that's a no from me, dog.
not thinking that there's anything. Okay, let's get sushi out of a gas or an airport vending machine and then get on an airplane where you have no control over when you can go to the bathroom or not.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dylan's over there like,
Yeah. You weren't thinking about that, were you, Dylan?
No, I wasn't. It's a very good point, though.
yeah.
No, that's funny.
But yeah, so that's Joe's Truck Stop. Check them out. This last week's guest on the Homegrown Happy Hour.
Yes.
We got videos coming up on YouTube. Podcasts will be out soon, probably today.
Yep.
So check it out. They were really funny, really, really talented. Just
And if you need a TV for the Super Bowl, go to
rent to own,
go to
$20,
Rent to Own, take it back on
80-inch
Monday.
TV, take it back on Monday.
That's so funny. You know it happens. He's not lying.
I have one question.
Yes.
Are you going to watch the movie?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't watch a
we
movie about?
if and when we have the chance, we will definitely have some sort of screening of Gas Station Sushi.
Dude, if we don't play that,
Maybe
then
we can get them to show it at the Marquee or something.
maybe
Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
they could sing the song, show the
Yeah.
movie.
I think I'm going to go to the biggest screen and watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be on that super IMAX
Right.
screen that they showed Oppenheimer on. Like the only what a 64 millimeter IMAX projector left in existence or whatever. That's where they're gonna be showing
I
Gas
like
Station
it.
Sushi.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're set.
Yeah.
So.
We'll talk a little bit more about Homegrown Happy Hour on Thursday.
Yeah.
This Thursday is the final episode from this season. It is going to be Katie Meadows and Charlie Mannering.
Okay.
So it should be a good show. And Mr. Ben Davis Jr. himself is going to be in here on Thursday to talk all about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We always love to have Ben here on the program and chat with him a bit.
Mhm.
And he's a good dude.
You think a lot of blues singer-songwriters have songs about trains, especially old timey.
Yeah.
I think we could get them to write a train about Kim Jong Un's slow ass bulletproof train.
I'll tell you what, if I see him between now and then, I'm going to put him to the task.
Float that idea. Can you write a song about a really slow train carrying a dictator on his way to meet a worse dictator?
Right. It's bulletproof though.
And it's bulletproof. But it's really slow.
And it's what color is it?
Green with a yellow stripe.
Yeah, green with a yellow stripe.
Yeah.
These are the parameters in which you need to write a song.
Hey, he just did the songwriters retreat. This should be like an exercise at like every songwriters retreat. You have to write a song about Kim Jong Un's slow ass green train.
I like it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
The makings of a great country song. Yes. Yep. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you for not asking me about the Taco Bell incident, because I probably could not get through it.
We talked about
I'm glad you and Pete had to cover that yesterday.
This is a great story. It's almost as good as the slow train. Slow train to Taco Bell. Got meth in her bra.
Oh God. There are no words. So I think our friend Nick
We're
Rupert
gonna be talking Vinton County Air Show
will be
tomorrow.
coming in tomorrow. They're saying this Vinton County Air Show is going to be one of the biggest and best ever. So we look forward to that. And so we will be back here tomorrow and chat with them, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegramnews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Vinton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegramnews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
thetelegramnews.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegramnews.com.
Check it out.